Hey guys, this is Jamie Lola Tallulah Poet Spice, and I am here to do a quick video on the supplies that you need, or explaining the Tonic Studios Kaleidoscope die range. As you know, if you've been on my channel for any amount of time, you will notice that since last year, I have absolutely loved Tonic. Now this is actually a tattered lace die, but the box is Tonic. They're 3D boxes. And so this one is part of the Kaleidoscope. This one, actually it's two. You've got this one here and then the boxes. These are the Winter Wonderland boxes, but as you can see, I love them. I'm putting them together. This is one of their boxes. Love this one. And its little lid. Okay. And of course, we come to the Tonic Kaleidoscope range. Now, if you are uncertain, this is actually kind of confusing. So here's one of the boxes. It's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's the hexagon box. And what they basically do is they have two sets, and then they came out with a third set of construction dies. So basically you have the die that makes the lid and the base, which is the same die. Then you have the die that makes the sides, and usually within that set comes panels. Okay, the last release they did not do the sides, but they did the panels. Okay, so I'm going to show you what that's all about, because it can be very confusing. So I'm just going to try to leave this here so that you can see everything. I'm going to start with what you need to do in order to get the top and the bottom. Okay, they have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 designs for tops and bottoms. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you those. They have the triangular bottom and top. Okay, they have, which one is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this must be the 8-sided one. Oh, yep, there it is. Octagon. Okay. They have the square base. They have a 5-sided one, but it's got a pointed dome. Okay. Then they have a 5-sided flat piece. And then they have your hexi lid. Okay. Then to go with that, they did come out with this one, and there's also an octagon one, but I don't know where that is in my stash, which are just layers that go on top of the box. Okay, so let me show you what this is looking like. I took out the triangle die. So when you get the triangle die, you have the die basically here to make the lid and the base, and then you have some decorations for the top and decoration for the sides. Okay, so this die here, let me show you, is what creates your lid and your base. So it creates that part and this bottom part, right? You just make one slightly smaller. All right, so that's that. So I wanted to show you what that die actually looks like. Okay, then let me see, I think I took another one out to show you. Then you have this die, which is your octagon, and so it does the same thing too. So see, you have your outside die here, this big huge one, okay, which is going to make your top and your bottom. Then you have decorative pieces for the sides, and then decorative layers for the inside, you know, on the top of the lid. Okay, if you don't get these dies, you can't build the box. Does that make sense? Okay, because when I was looking at them trying to get all of the collection, it was like, what am I supposed to do? So let me show you the pieces that you need, and I'll try to get the numbers to show up if I can. Okay, these are the lids. So that's the name of this one, Festive Triangle. And here is the number. Okay. So that's if you want to make the triangular box. If you want to make the octagon, Here is the name. And then here is the number. Okay. Makes sense? And they should say box lid and box base on all of these, but just so you know. Okay. All right. This one is the hexie. So hexagon lid. And you can't go by the picture because that gets confusing. If you look at the picture, you'll get confused. So there's the name. And where'd they put the number on this one? There's the number. So these are just for your lids. Okay, so the top and bottom. Okay, they came out with the pentagonal one. I'm hoping you can see that thing is casting a shadow. There we go. And here's the number. I was eating Cheetos and now my finger's orange. So hopefully you can see that number better. Okay, so right there. Then you have the pentagonal one with the point, which is this one. The peaked lid. Okay, and there's its number. And then last but not least, you have the square lid. And then there's its number. Okay. So those are the numbers in order to get the top and the bottom. Okay. Now what you have to do is you have to get the sides. So even if you buy all of these, you still can't build the box. You need your sides. Okay. Now let me show you those. They have basically, I think I worked it out, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. They basically have 4 sides. Okay. So this piece here. Okay, so let me show you how that works. You have this piece, okay, and the sides will say insert panel set, okay, and you have this dimension, so it's not the smallest box. So this piece right here, let me pull it off a little bit. This piece makes your sides. So it's got 2 panels, so if you wanted to make it a triangle, you cut it twice and then cut one off. If you wanted to make it a square, cut it twice. If you want to make it a hexie, cut it 3 times. If you want to make it an octagon, you cut it 4 times and you glue them together. Now I've done a tutorial on this so you can see that as well. But that's what this die looks like. So this is one side. If you just buy this die, you can't make the box because you need the lid. Okay. Now this side will work with any of these lids. Okay. So this part of the lid is the same size as this panel. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Okay. So you have this one, and this one is called that, and the number is that. Okay. So that's one side. Okay. This is the tallest one they do. Okay. I absolutely love that pattern. And so it's 2.5 inches by 10 inches tall. Okay. So when you open it, this is what this panel looks like. So see, you still have the 2.5 inches for the panel, but is uber huge. That makes sense? Now, when they were demonstrating it, Jody made a good point. If you don't want to buy these other sides, as far as like the height, you can always just buy the largest one and then cut it down. So you could have a box that's 10 inches, 8 inches, 4 inches, 2 inches if you wanted to. Does that make sense? So there's the tallest one. This one is actually the shortest one. So it is called Simple Things. And it'll say insert panel. And then there's its number. Then this is where it got confusing for me. These 2 dies, okay? And I think this is the example of why they didn't do this anymore. These 2 dies, okay? One is the Rose and Bobbins. And it's this number. And then this one is My Gift to You. And it's this number. Okay. So these 2, the panels are the exact same height. Okay. For each other. But they've got different inserts. Does that make sense? So the panel insert is actually different. So you've got 4 different designs. So when you look at that, see, you've got this part, you've got this one and this one, but they're the same dimensions. See, 2.5 by 6.5, and then 2.5 by 6.5. Does that make sense? All right, so this I think is why they did what they did the last release. Okay, now these sets are just the decoration pieces, not, let me show you on the other side, not this piece. Okay, so this is not in the next 3 sets I'm going to show you. All they did was put in these pieces, these decorative pieces, because you would have already purchased these panels. Okay, so let me show you that, so how it's different. Okay, the latest release they came out with for the boxes are this one, which is the decorative panel set, and it's got wine glasses, a bottle of wine, and celebrate. See, I didn't even open these yet. This one, which is the toy box kaleidoscope set, and here's the number. Okay, and notice on this one they didn't put insert panel, they just put decorative panel. Okay, and I'll show you why in here a second. And then they have this one, Night at the Ballet, and there's that number. Okay, now let me show you what they did. So see how on this piece there's no panel? There's no tall panel to build the sides. These are just the decorations. So here's a layer, here's a layer. Here's for a smaller box, here's for the smaller box. Okay, now the tallest box is bigger than this panel, but you could still use it. It would just be centered in this, you know, centered in the panel. Does that make sense? So I'll show you side by side so you can see what's missing. So when you look at this, here's your outside panel. This creates the sides. So notice on this one there are no sides. And then here's your decorative pieces. These are just decorative pieces. Okay, so these last 3 that they released, the bear, the ballerina, and then, what's it say, the celebrate one, those are just these decorative panel pieces, not the actual sides. So I hope that clarifies what you need in order to build like one of these kaleidoscope boxes. I absolutely love them. They're sitting around my room and I'm just like, I don't have room for all these boxes, but I keep making them. Go figure. So that is the entire range of kaleidoscope dies as of this video. Okay, I would imagine later on this year they're probably going to release some more panels and so forth like that, but as of right now, these are all the dies that are in that collection for the kaleidoscopes. So if you have any more questions, feel free to ask and I will try to answer them. If you go and look in my tutorials, I have a playlist that says #tutorials by Jamie. If you go look in there, you can see some tutorials that I've done using the kaleidoscope boxes and how I put one together. All right, thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and I shall see you the next time around.